Margaret lived during some turbulent times in French history and was the first member of the French royal family to embrace elements of the Reformation. She was born in 1492 in Angoulême and had a younger brother Francois who was 2 years younger than her and in direct line to the French throne. She was educated alongside her brother, which was unusual in her day, for although women of nobility were often educated, it wasn't to the same level as their male counterparts. She was fluent in French, Spanish, English and Hebrew, and also Latin with some understanding of Italian and German. She was also well versed in philosophy, history, literature and theology. When she was 17, she was married to the Duke of Alençon. It was a purely politically expedient marriage, and during their 16-year marriage, they had no children. During their marriage, she also corresponded with the Bishop of Meaux, William Briconnet, who himself had embraced the Reformation, and through his influence, she accepted the message of righteousness by faith. She was extremely close to her brother, and when anyone complained to the king about the Protestant leanings of his sister, he would reply, "If what you say is true, I love her too well to allow her to be troubled on that account." He also would say that his sister was the only woman he ever knew who had every virtue and every grace with no admixture of vice. Her unique position here in the court allowed her to shelter persecuted reformers such as Jacques Lefebvre and John Calvin, and other perhaps lesser known ones such as Clement Marot and Louis Berquin. After the death of her first husband, she married Henry of Navarre and became the Queen of Navarre, and her second husband was a staunch Catholic and strongly opposed her religious beliefs, and she had to rely on her brother's support to continue to champion the Reformation in various ways. In 1534, with her brother's permission, she opened the Palace of the Louvre to the citizens of Paris and invited reformist Gerard Rousse to preach the message of justification by faith. This was probably the first Protestant evangelistic series to be held here in Paris, and soon around 5,000 people flocked to this square to hear the gospel preached. This bold move got her into trouble with the leading Catholic voice in the city, the Faculty of Theology at the University of Paris, with the chair calling for her arrest. Riots soon broke out, and protesters called for a halt to the meetings. The issue was resolved when her brother the king returned to the city and he protected his sister. The affair of the placards changed everything as this enraged the king, and he decided to purge France of Protestantism. Protestants were burned on every street corner in the city, and the king himself led a procession of penitents to Notre Dame Cathedral behind me. Some say he demanded Margaret's presence at the procession as a sign of loyalty and support to him, but she refused, causing a rift between them that was never fully healed. In 1533, Margaret became Protestantism's first published female poet, as she released a series of volumes entitled The Mirror of the Sinful Soul. The young Princess Elizabeth I in England translated these as a gift for her stepmother, Queen Catherine Parr, in 1544, and thus her influence spread overseas. She had one daughter, Jeanne, who would go on to become the Queen of Navarre following her father, and she would be a strong champion for Protestantism and also a leading Huguenot figure. She died on December the 21st, 1549, but her influence would live on, having influenced Switzerland, Italy, and England. She remained true and faithful to her convictions, despite having a husband who openly opposed her religious beliefs and a brother who led out in a massacre of Protestants. Maybe you are serving God, and yet those closest to you are persecuting you and openly opposing others who believe like you. Hang in there, stay faithful, that you may receive a crown of life. Lineage is a crowd-funded non-profit studio. We make videos, we write articles and books, and we've got a podcast. And it's all to share the stories of biblical and Christian role models in history. We uncover heroes from the past to inspire, guide, and help today's generation connect the past with the present and the future. And it's all free for you because it's been generously paid for by thousands of supporters all over the world. Your support is helping millions of people understand their identity, their purpose, and their mission in life. Crowdfunded means whatever you give, big or small, helps us accomplish our mission. You can help us make more resources by joining our mission. You can give at lineagejourney.com.